Is the crescent moon in the palm of your hand? Or are you simply afraid to open your hand and look? 2025 isn't just another year. It's a turning point, a threshold, a silent invitation whispered by destiny itself. The universe doesn't shout, it sends symbols. And the crescent moon? That's not just in the sky, it's in your grip, waiting. If you've ever felt like the world was shifting under your feet, like you're on the edge of something massive, you're not wrong. Something is coming. And if you dare to believe, truly believe, that your life can change in 2025, these 10 things are already moving toward you. They don't arrive by accident. They come to those who are ready. So the only question left is, are you ready to receive what's already yours? Number 1, in 2025, you will finally release what you once clung to with trembling hands. Whether it's a toxic relationship, a self-limiting belief, a job that drained your spirit, or an identity built on survival rather than authenticity. And for the first time, it won't shatter you. You won't beg it to stay. You won't question your worth because of its departure. You will simply let go. Not with bitterness or resentment, but with peace, with clarity, with the quiet power of someone who has finally realized they deserve better. What once felt essential will reveal itself as a weight you no longer have to carry, and you'll wonder why you held on so long. Letting go in 2025 will not feel like loss. It will feel like stepping out of a burning building and taking your first full breath. There won't be grief, because there won't be confusion. You'll know, deep in your bones, that it had to end for you to begin. You won't chase closure or explanation. You won't need apologies. The growth you step into will speak louder than anything the past could offer. This is the year you realize that detachment isn't cold. It's wise. It's sacred. It's survival turning into self-love. You'll recognize that the things you feared losing were often the very things blocking your blessing. And instead of mourning what was, you'll celebrate what's becoming. The change you once mistook for comfort will fall away, and in their place you'll feel space, open, clear, infinite. You will look back not with pain, but with gratitude for the lesson. And as you walk away, not broken, but reborn, you'll carry something far more powerful than what you left behind. Yourself, whole, and finally free. Number 2, in 2025, the fog begins to lift, and what once felt like a tangled web of confusion, mixed signals, and unanswered questions will finally start to make perfect sense. Not because the world changes, but because you do. The veils will fall from your eyes, and the truths that were always right in front of you will reveal themselves in startling clarity. The masks people wear, the subtle energy behind their words, the intentions they try to hide, you'll see it all. You'll no longer excuse red flags as miscommunication or label your intuition as paranoia. Patterns you've repeated, chasing emotionally unavailable people, sabotaging your own growth, settling for less, will no longer feel like mysteries. You'll trace them back to their origin, and suddenly your past won't feel like a blur of mistakes, but a map that makes sense. Even your own inner longings, the desires you couldn't quite explain or pursue, will come into focus. You'll stop confusing what you were taught to want with what your soul actually wants. 2025 is not the year of forcing clarity, it's the year of receiving it. And when the truth comes, it won't just illuminate your path forward, it will rewrite how you see your entire journey. Things that once hurt you will become your deepest sources of wisdom. People who once confused you will become case studies in discernment, and decisions that once felt impossible will become obvious. This isn't about becoming bitter, it's about becoming awake. You won't need to confront everyone or burn every bridge. Sometimes awareness is enough, because once you see, you can't unsee. And once you know, you can never again pretend you don't. 2025 is the year the hidden becomes visible, and that truth will be the most liberating gift you've ever received. Number 3. In 2025, you will witness something that defies logic but confirms your spirit. Divine timing. The very things you begged for, cried over, journaled about, or chased until you were exhausted, suddenly, effortlessly, they'll arrive. When your grip has loosened and your heart has finally found peace in the waiting. You look around and realize the opportunities, relationships, breakthroughs, and moments you once tried to force into existence are now unfolding in ways you couldn't have scripted. But it won't be because you hustled harder or pushed more. It will be because you finally stopped trying to control what was never yours to manage. Instead of chasing, you started aligning. You worked on your energy. You healed the parts of you that were rooted in desperation and fear. You stopped asking when will it happen and started asking who do I need to become so I'm ready when it does. And just like that, the doors that refused to open before will swing wide. Because now you're not trying to sneak into places you're not ready for. You've grown into the version of yourself who belongs there. The timing will feel surreal. An old dream may reappear in a new form. A conversation will happen at just the right moment. The right person will cross your path after you gave up looking. And you realize this was never about luck. It was about alignment. Divine timing doesn't mean delay. It means preparation. It means the universe didn't say no, it said not yet. Not until you're ready. And in 2025, you will finally be ready. What once felt like silence will now feel like strategy. And the shock won't be in how fast things happen. It'll be in how natural it feels when they do. Because when it's right, it doesn't feel forced. It feels fated. Number 4. In 2025, the version of you that's been buried beneath doubt, fear, and survival mode will finally rise. Not because you decided to be brave, but because life will give you no other option. You will be placed in situations that demand your strength, moments that require your voice, and challenges that force you to remember just how powerful you really are. But this won't be a dramatic transformation. It will be a revelation. You won't become someone new. You'll return to someone real. The boldness, the clarity, the unapologetic truth teller inside of you. They've been waiting for the right conditions to reemerge. And 2025 will create exactly that. A job loss might redirect you toward your passion. A betrayal might push you back to self-trust. A breaking point might unlock a breakthrough. You won't wake up and suddenly be fearless. You'll look back and realize you faced the fear and acted anyway. What felt like pressure will become the very heat that forged your confidence. What once made you feel like a victim will now make you feel like a survivor turned leader. The power you reconnect with isn't loud or aggressive. It's grounded, steady, and undeniable. It's the quiet strength that says, I've been through worse and I'm still here. You'll stop waiting for permission, validation, or perfect timing. You'll move with purpose, because the version of you that's emerging no longer needs outside approval. Life won't coddle you in 2025, but it will awaken you. And as each test unfolds, you'll tap into a strength you forgot was yours. Not because you were never strong, but because you were always taught to dim it. This year, the world won't change for you. You will. And once your power returns, nothing and no one will be able to convince you to give it away again. Number 5. In 2025, you will finally understand that every no, every delay, every door that slammed in your face wasn't a punishment. It was a pivot, a sacred reroute, steering you away from what wasn't meant to hold your future. What once felt like rejection will now feel like divine redirection. And you'll start to see how the things that didn't work out were actually protecting you from paths that would have drained you, dimmed you, or delayed your purpose. That job you didn't get, it would have trapped you in comfort and stifled your growth. That person who walked away, they were never capable of loving the version of you that was still becoming. Those unanswered prayers weren't ignored. They were being refined, upgraded, reimagined in ways you couldn't yet comprehend. In 2025, the pieces finally click. You look back and realize that the universe was never withholding blessings from you. It was rearranging them so you'd be ready to receive them fully. You weren't being rejected. You were being redirected to something more aligned, more expansive, more you. That shift in perspective will change everything. You'll stop taking setbacks personally and start seeing them as strategy. The sting of the past will soften into gratitude. You'll begin to thank the people who ghosted you, the opportunities that passed you by, and the timing that felt off. Because now, you know it was all part of a much bigger design. And when the yes finally comes, the one that fits, that flows, that feels like home, you'll understand why nothing else ever worked. It wasn't because you weren't enough. It was because that wasn't enough for who you were becoming. In 2025, you won't just move on. You'll move up, guided by a quiet certainty that everything that left was making space for everything that's arriving. Number 6, in 2025, you will come to understand that not everyone is meant to go where you're going, and that realization will no longer sting. It will soothe. The people who once filled your space with noise, drama, distraction, or conditional love will begin to fall away. Not because you forced them out, but because your frequency shifted, and they no longer align with the peace you've chosen to protect. Your circle will shrink, not in bitterness, but in wisdom. You'll no longer feel the need to impress the many when you're supported by the few who truly see you. The applause that once felt essential will fade into irrelevance, and in its place will rise something far more valuable: peace. You'll wake up and feel calm rather than chaotic, energized rather than drained, because your energy will no longer be spread thin across relationships built on convenience or obligation. In silence, you'll hear your own voice more clearly. In solitude, you'll find clarity that crowds could never offer. You'll start to notice that real connection doesn't demand attention, it offers presence. The people who remain in your life will be those who nourish you, not those who need constant explanation or validation. You'll understand that being alone and being lonely are not the same, and you'll treasure your own company like never before. Peace will become your new status symbol, not popularity. Depth will replace volume, and boundaries will become an act of love, not just for others, but for yourself. In 2025, you will finally see that the smaller your circle becomes, the clearer your life feels, and the more powerfully you can walk your path without distraction. Because peace isn't something you stumble into, it's something you choose again and again until it becomes who you are. Number 7. In 2025, you'll discover that the most powerful form of attraction isn't rooted in strategy or striving. It's rooted in healing, in becoming whole within yourself first. As you release the need to prove your worth, to chase approval, or to hustle for love and opportunity, something remarkable happens. You start to attract what once felt out of reach. Without chasing, begging, or bending over backwards, you begin to notice that the right people, the right doors, and the right energy flow toward you, not because you demanded it, but because your energy silently called it in. Your healed presence will speak louder than any words ever could. You'll carry yourself with quiet confidence, grounded boundaries, and unshakable clarity, and others will feel that before you even speak. This is the kind of magnetism that can't be faked, bought, or taught. It radiates from within, the natural result of doing the inner work. You'll stop performing and start being, and in that authenticity, you'll become impossible to ignore. Love will find you when you're no longer looking to fill a void. Respect will follow when you stop tolerating anything less. Opportunities will come, not because you begged for a seat at the table, but because you built your own. Your energy won't scream for attention. It will command it by simply existing in alignment. The most beautiful part is that you won't even notice the shift at first, because it will feel so natural. You're not changing for others. You're coming home to yourself, and that version of you, that healed, authentic, grounded version, the magnetic. In 2025, you'll finally understand that the more you align with who you truly are, the less you have to ask and the more you naturally receive, because what's meant for you can always recognize you. Number 8, in 2025, you'll stop chasing money out of fear, pressure, or comparison, and you'll start attracting it through alignment, through finally honoring the deeper calling that's been whispering beneath all the noise. You'll look back at the years you spent grinding, hustling, and burning yourself out in pursuit of survival, and you'll realize that none of it ever truly satisfied you, not because money is bad, but because the way you were chasing it wasn't connected to your truth. You'll start to feel the shift when you no longer wake up dreading your days, when you stop doing work that drains your soul just to earn a check, and instead move toward the work that lights you up. From the inside, purpose won't be some grand idea. It'll be the quiet knowing that your energy is being used for something real, something meaningful. And when you step into that lane, when your actions match your spirit, that's when abundance begins to flow. You'll begin to realize that money is not the reward for suffering. It's the natural result of being in sync with your gift, your message, your mission. You won't have to sell your soul to survive. You'll stop measuring your worth by how exhausted you are and start measuring it by how aligned you feel. Yes, the effort will still be there, but it won't feel heavy because it will be rooted in joy, in service, in truth. And the beautiful part, the more you serve your purpose, the more the world will serve you back. You'll no longer feel guilty for wanting more, because you'll understand that wealth isn't just about money, it's about freedom, impact, and legacy. In 2025, the hustle fades and alignment takes the lead. And when you follow purpose instead of pressure, prosperity follows you. Number 9, in 2025, you will evolve so profoundly that even those who thought they knew you best may no longer recognize you. Not because you've changed for others, but because you finally become who you were always meant to be. The version of you that tolerated too much, apologized for taking up space, played small to keep the peace, and bent over backward for approval will be gone. And in its place will stand someone who is rooted, whole, clear, and unapologetically aligned with their truth. You won't explain your growth, you'll embody it. You won't shrink to fit old narratives or meet outdated expectations. And some people won't know how to handle that. They may question you, criticize your choices, or try to remind you of who you used to be. But you'll realize that their discomfort is not your burden. It's a sign that you've outgrown the version of life that once made you feel safe but no longer fits your soul. Growth isn't polite. It doesn't ask permission. It transforms you from the inside out. Your mindset, your habits, your boundaries, your energy. You'll walk differently, speak differently, think differently, and choose differently. And while it may feel lonely at times, it will also feel freeing. Because the more you honor your evolution, the more magnetic you become to what's truly meant for you. And the more you confess the worst memories, the more you call it the worst faults. It's the more you honor your evolution, the more you can float, the more you can be more free. Old doors will close and you won't knock on them again. New doors will open and you'll walk through without hesitation. You'll stop performing and start existing in your fullness. In 2025, the world may see you and say, "You've changed." And you'll smile and reply, "Yes, I've grown." This isn't reinvention for show. It's transformation from soul. And the most powerful part, you're just getting started. Number 10, in 2025, there will come a moment, quiet but unforgettable, when you feel as though the crescent moon is resting gently in the palm of your hand, and in that moment, something will shift. Your faith will finally outweigh your fear. You no longer talk yourself out of dreams because they feel too big, or doubt your path because it doesn't look like anyone else's. Instead of second-guessing the whispers within you, you'll start honoring them as divine instruction. What once felt like fantasy will now feel like prophecy, because you'll begin to realize that those deep, persistent callings within you weren't random desires. They were blueprints for your purpose. You'll stop needing proof before you move. You'll stop waiting for the world to confirm what your soul already knows. And even when the path feels uncertain, you'll trust that the vision was given to you for a reason. Fear won't disappear completely, but it will stop leading the way. Faith will take the front seat, and with it will come a boldness you've never known before. You'll speak with more conviction, walk with more certainty, and show up for your purpose without apology. Even the setbacks won't shake you the way they used to, because you'll understand they're not signs to quit, they're tests of how deeply you believe. In 2025, you won't just hope, you'll know. You'll know that something greater is guiding you, and you'll move as if the outcome is already yours. That's what faith does. It quiets the noise, strengthens your spine, and keeps you moving even when the path is dark. And when you carry that kind of unwavering belief, you become unstoppable. Because when faith outweighs fear, the impossible starts to look like destiny, and the crescent moon in your hand becomes a symbol of everything you were born to claim. So as you step boldly into 2025, may you carry the crescent moon not just in the palm of your hand, but in the center of your soul, a symbol of your becoming, your resilience, and your sacred alignment with something greater. Let this be the year your clarity deepens, your circle tightens, your spirit rises, and your faith silences every fear. May you no longer chase what is beneath your calling, but instead walk in divine timing, magnetic energy, and unstoppable purpose. May every no guide you to a better yes, every ending reveal a higher beginning, and every quiet moment usher in waves of unexpected peace. You are not who you were. and that is your power. You are evolving, unfolding, awakening. And so, we close this message with a prayer. May you trust the process, even when it's hidden. Believe in the vision, even before it's seen, and honor the voice inside that never gave up on you. May the Creator guide your steps, guard your heart, and grow your blessings beyond anything you could ever imagine. You are ready. You are aligned, and you are called. Let 2025 be the year you rise, not by force, but by faith. Amen.